Hey guys, welcome in to the Expected Bets 4 podcast, your go-to podcast for all things hockey betting. I am Franco the Banker. I'm not joined by anybody today, so I'm going to be riding solo. Gator and Gretzky Betsky are off and about today, so going to break down this three-game slate, nice and easy. Not too much today. Obviously, we had some 1 o'clock games earlier today for Canadian Thanksgiving, so hope you enjoyed those. I did not. Had some money on that Utah game being over, and we saw a nice 3-0 win by the Devils. That Kings Senators game was wild. 14, 15 goals. What was it? 7-6. So that was crazy. I don't think anybody expected to see that much offense between those two teams. And then the Bruins had the get right spot to get that win back against Florida. They opened the season against Florida and lost at home. You would think they would have came out today. And Florida takes it again, even without Barkov. So pretty impressive. I think Florida still feels like kind of a stay away team right now without Barkov, but heck of a win by them. They kind of looked like they were not in it for the last couple of games before today, but good win from them. So, yeah. So let's get in the slate. I guess we'll kick it off here with the Rangers and Red Wings. So, Red Wings are on the road today here in this game. Line's sitting at plus 195 for the Red Wings, minus 238 on the money line for the Rangers. Big home favorites tonight. Total sitting at 6.5, minus 102 for the over, minus 118 for the under. If you like the Rangers, you can get their puck line minus 1.5 at plus 110, which doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I mean, my initial lean here, I feel like this feels like a Ranger spot here at home. Shesterkin is likely the goaltender. He hasn't been confirmed yet. Alex Lyon is going to start his first game of the season for the Red Wings, so not super high on what we've seen from Detroit so far defensively. Obviously, they got shut out on Saturday versus Nashville, which was surprising. I think most people have been pretty high on this Nashville team coming into the season. So, yeah, I don't know what to say there. It's kind of a weird result for them to get that win and get that shutout against this high-flying Nashville team. So, good on them there. But I think this is going to be a different situation here. Rangers have come out pretty high flying so far to start the season. They have the depth to put the puck in the net, and they have arguably the best goaltender in the league at this point, at least one of them playing behind them. Now, obviously, Utah got to them on Saturday as well. We'll see what happens there with Shesterkin. So he had a very down game there after shutting out the Penguins the first game of the season. So up and down we go, I guess, kind of. We're still kind of trying to get our feet under us as far as the betting markets go and, how to take these teams going game by game. But I still think when it comes down to if I have a choice between backing Lyon or Shesterkin, give me Shesterkin all day. Now, obviously, minus 230, I'm not going to lay that, but that puck line is intriguing. I'll probably do something like a split between the puck line and the first period puck line or something like that. Both of them are plus money. First period puck line is sitting around plus 130. So that's just Rangers to win by one or more in the first. I don't mind that. I just think that goaltending advantage is significant here, and I don't really want to be on that Red Wings side. No lean or anything towards the total here. Obviously, Rangers went way over that last game, so I don't really want to hinge my over on Detroit producing here. So maybe a Rangers team total or something like that doesn't feel too bad. Yeah, let's get into player props. So player props, I think I really wanted to be continue riding this Lafreniere point prop. He's been very productive, starting on the second line this year, second power play, but still just continuing his hot run that he ended the season last year with. But today he's minus 150, minus 155 shopping around here. So not really in my range of bettable outcomes here for him. I just don't like laying that for a point prop. you can shift to like an assist prop or something like that, or maybe his goal prop. I don't mind that. I'm more interested in probably just parlaying him. I know not every book is going to offer this, but earlier today I was able to lock in his point with a Panarin point, just 1 point for Panarin, and that was plus 100. So really like that a lot. It's you're correlated because they play together on the same line. Obviously not the same power play unit, but if I'm thinking the Rangers are going to score 3 or 4 goals, I think that Panarin and Lafreniere are going to be involved. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You're seeing even Trocheck sitting at an over 1.5 line, Panarin sitting at over 1.5. So lots of crazy lines. You're not going to get very much value on this Rangers team going to this matchup. I think the markets expect goals from the Rangers. And yeah, I think that's the main player I want to be involved with right now because at least I was getting value. Obviously, we lost that value coming into this game. Kind of disappointed there. We'll see if that shifts going forward. It might be just this matchup that's setting him at that minus 150. If he gets back down to minus 130, I'm going to continue hitting him game to game. So we'll see what happens there. On the Detroit side, I'll probably continue to go back to Lucas Raymond. He's been awesome. His point prop on DK is minus 130. So don't mind that still. Shop around. I think you can get better lines elsewhere, but still, that top line is still pretty good. I don't think we're going to see a shutout from Shesterkin here. So if you want to be on a Detroit prop, I think he's your guy to look at least price-wise. Obviously, Larkin, no value there. Kane, really no value there for a point either. I'm not personally a big shots on goal prop guy. So I know everybody loves the shot on goal prop market and loves to hate it and all that fun stuff. So usually when you see me on the show, when we're discussing or the other guys are discussing it, you're not going to hear me chime in too much for shots on goal. I will sprinkle some here and there if I find a spot that I really like, but overall that's not like my main focus. So just, as I break down these other 2 games after this one, you're not going to hear me harp too much on shots on goal here. If you have any questions in the chat, I can answer as well if anybody is looking at somebody, but yeah, it's just not my favorite market to bet in general. It just seems oversaturated. Not as much value year to year, and obviously, as everybody likes to point out, there's shots disappear and reappear and all that fun stuff. So you won't see too much of that from me. It's more point props, more sides, totals, and I like to get some nice value on goal scorer props. So I like to look at those as well. One interesting one, so speaking of goal scorer props, is Andrew Kopp. Now, you might be saying, yeah, what? Andrew Kopp, why would you be betting him, right? He's playing on the third line with Rasmussen and Tyler Mott. But for whatever reason, I don't really know why, he produces against this Rangers team. I mean, he played with them for like a cup of coffee. He was acquired from Winnipeg a few years back, was involved in that playoff run they had, and then they chose not to re-sign him. Maybe that's something that has stuck with him and he likes to put it back on them. But I cashed a prop with him last year, scoring a goal against them, and going right back to it today here. Obviously, this is a small bet, but you can get him plus 850 on 365, which is insane. Plus 750 at some other books as well. So just, again, nothing crazy here, but for whatever reason, this guy loves producing against them. I see in the chat, we have Cooley and Kako, anytime goal scorer, both had strong starts. I like that. Cooley in particular stuck out to me as well. I think he had, I think he has 2 goals in 3 games versus them, if I remember correctly. So I don't mind that. Playing on that third line, it's all the young guns for this team at this point. Lafreniere's kind of graduated from that group, but Cooley, Hedel, and Kako, not a bad line. And yeah, I mean, I think the Rangers can get production from the other groups at this point. At least that's the thought early, and hopefully, if you're a Rangers fan going forward, that it's not just Zibanejad and Kreider and Panarin, and that's it. It's got to be somebody else if this team's really going to be truly a cup contender this year. So we want to see strides from these types of guys. So I don't mind sprinkling on guys like that as well if you like the value. And like I said, you're not getting as much value on Kreider, Zibanejad, Panarin. So yeah, if Rangers score 4 or 5 here, yeah, take a look up and down the lineup and see what line you think looks good, and I don't mind looking there as well. All right, that's all I have for that game. Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Montreal Canadiens. We have Tristan Jarry returning to the net after 2 games off here. The rookie Blomqvist took over the last 2. Played pretty decent, especially after Jarry's really shaky start to the season. Obviously, it was against the Rangers, so we just spoke about, and their offense. But yeah, Jarry did not look good. The defense in front of him did not look good that first game. Now he makes his return to the net. He's going to face off against Samuel Montembeault for the Canadiens. Oh man, I gotta lean Canadiens here. I know it feels crazy to back this team, just with the history and what we expect from this team, just not being overall the best of teams, being more of a bottom dweller the last few years. But I think there's, we spoke about previously when we did the breakdowns that I think this is a team on the up, and I think Pittsburgh's on the down right now. And I'm not interested in backing Pittsburgh in general. And you're telling me that they're minus 142 today on the road? No thanks, no thanks at all. So yeah, lines for tonight, like I said, 142 minus 142 for the money line for the Penguins, plus 120 for the Canadiens here. Over under set at 6, minus 122 to the over, plus 102 to the under. If you like the Penguins, I'd probably go that in reg line. That's plus 110. Like I said, I really would not be interested in laying a minus 142 with the Penguins. I understand they played a little bit better the last few days, but yeah, not really where I want to be here. So it's Canadiens for me here. I think that's going to make the card for me. I like the price at plus 120 at home. I took them versus the Sens on Saturday. Again, plus 130, I think that was. And they handled them pretty easily, actually. So, yeah, like that. So as far as player props go, I am mainly looking at our buddy Lane Hudson. Came into the season coming out pretty well so far to start the season. 2 assists. His last game, I believe he had 1 or 2 the first game as well. His point prop is sitting at plus 160, plus 165, depending on where you're looking. It looks like it actually went down to plus 145 on DK. So it's moving. I think people in general are seeing the skills here of this kid. Every time he has the puck on his stick, it's exciting. He looks like he can make a play at any time. He's still on that second power play unit, which is kind of annoying with your betting props. You want to have like the most amount of opportunity here. So not super ideal just in that case. Second unit defensive pair as well. But he's getting enough minutes. And like I said, I mean, this kid passed the eye test. You watch a Habs game. I know it seems crazy, right? Like I'm telling you to throw on the Habs on a Monday night, but watch some of that game and just watch this kid play, man. He looks good. I like him a lot. And I mean, you're getting plus anything plus 145 is not bad at all either. On a guy that's been this productive with Cole Caulfield being red hot and this team just being productive in general. Jarry in net as well, which is just like an added bonus, and that Pittsburgh D. So I think Montreal can get a few goals here, and I think at that plus number, that's a nice look here. That's the first thing I had circled as far as player props go. The other one I have is Mike Matheson. So this is the other guy, the other blue line guy on the Habs. Former Penguin, loves playing against his former team. Points in four of his last 4 against them. And again, like I said, I'm not typically your shots on goal guy, but I'm going there for this one. So he's hit his shots on goal prop in 4 of 4 against them as well. Obviously has a little bit of spite in his heart, right? This is, again, I love the revenge angles. So this is a guy that played for Pittsburgh for a few seasons, got traded, essentially tossed away to make room on this team and make some cap space. And he's fit in pretty well in Montreal. Like I said, top power play, top unit. So he's going to get all the better situations that we talked about wanting for Hudson that he's not going to get. So until that changes, I mean, Matheson in general is not a bad value, but point prop is like minus 140, minus 145. I don't love that per se. I don't mind it as a parlay piece. Maybe that's your piece if you aren't able to pair Panarin and Lafreniere points. You could do Lafreniere point with Matheson point, and you're going to get a nice number there. That shot prop is plus 135 for over 2.5. So he has not hit that yet this season. So treading lightly here, obviously. I went a half unit on that as opposed to a full unit, but like I said, he shows up against Pittsburgh. He actually scored a goal the last game against them, so I'm expecting him to come out firing and wanting to be productive against his former team. If I'm looking on the Pittsburgh side, it's got to be Sid. Started out the season pretty well. Canadians were his boyhood team that he rooted for, so he likes to come out, play in Montreal. He wants to show out. So obviously, you're not going to get insane value there. Montembeault has been really freaking good to start the season too. So I don't really want to be super heavy in Pittsburgh props in general. I don't want to be hoping to get like 3 or 4 goals from them. So I only am going to go Crosby here. Maybe you go as assist. Maybe you go as 2 points. I don't love that. I mean, maybe you go as goal. Maybe you split a unit between his goal and his assist. Get plus money both ways. Just really depends on where you want to be, where you want to end up. Like I said, I'm probably going to lay off the Pittsburgh side in general. I think Montembeault is pretty good in front of this Canadiens defense. I don't particularly love their blue line, but they've been pretty good. I know they let up a bunch against the Bruins, but that was with Caden Primo in net. So shut down the Sens and have looked pretty good to start the season. They shut down the Leafs. I mean, the Leafs had like 50 shots against them or whatever it was in the first game. So this team has shown that they can defend when they need to and get some good goaltending as well and produce offensively. So I don't mind going back to Cole Caulfield goal as well. I mean, he's been productive to start the season. Value's not super good at this point, but I mean, he's red hot. I don't mind that either. So those are my leans there. Let's move on to the last game on the slate here. We're talking about the New York Islanders versus the Colorado Avalanche. So we have Ilya Sorokin making his debut. He had some off-season surgery, I believe. So Varlamov has gotten the net the first 2 games of the season. We have Alexander Georgiev in net for Colorado. So I don't really understand why Bednar's going back to Georgiev, to be honest with you. He has been really, really bad to start the season. Let me get these numbers up here. But, I mean, it's been brutal in Colorado to start the season. Yeah, Georgiev, 7.75 goals against average and 0.680 save percentage. I mean, that's like playing on rookie mode in NHL. Like put up like 7 or 8 goals against the computer or something like that, right? So pretty brutal start to the season for Colorado defensively and in a net. So first look feels like an over here, right? Sorokin coming off the injury, his first game, we don't know what he's going to look like. The over set at 6.5, minus 105 to the over. I don't mind that at all. It feels pretty good. I think in general, I want to believe that this Islanders team is a lot better offensively than they have been in the past. I know when we look at the Islanders, it's always that boring defensive team that everybody thinks about, at least on their first glance. But I think there's reason for excitement for this Islanders offense this year. They brought in Duclair and Siplikov, 2 players that can score. Both scored in their first game of the season. So obviously game 2, they got shut down by that Dallas team. But I mean, we're talking about probably, if not the best team, one of the best teams in the league. You have a very good goaltender there and a damn good blue line as well. So just, I'm not surprised they got shut down that second game. Their first game, they were very productive against Utah. Obviously, Utah games have sailed over except for today, and so far these Avalanche games have sailed over. So at least for the lean right now, I would say that's an over. I'm probably going to get to the window on the money line for the Islanders as well. Those lines are set at plus 136 for the Islanders, minus 162 for the Avalanche. Again, there's no world where I want to back the Avalanche at minus 162. I get it, get right spot after that game against Columbus, but no way. I'm not betting them minus 162 with the way that they with Georgiev and that. I can't do it. So either stay off or take a little sprinkle on the dog at plus 136. I just think that this is the value spot here. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking across these 3 games. I like the Rangers and 2 dogs, Montreal and the Islanders. Kind of crazy to think about, right? Never thought I'd be back in those 2 teams in like the second week of the season, huh? So, but here we are, right? As far as props go, probably going to be looking at Duclair again. I think, like I said, that the offense was shut down last game. You're getting his number of plus money for a point. Like that a lot. I don't mind sprinkling his goal. Typically, when I do that type of bet, I'll do like a 0.75 unit on the point and then like a quarter unit on the goal. You can do half and half if you want to go a little bit bolder. But yeah, I like Duclair a lot. I think he brings a lot to this offense. He's on the top power play unit, and I think that there's going to be goals here and maybe a good amount of goals as well. So I don't mind grabbing a couple of props on the other side. I'm going to start with Duclair though. That's probably the first guy I've circled. As far as Colorado, I really want to see the lines. They shook him up a good amount the last game. Miles Wood started on the top line. They have it now listed as he's on the third line. Kovalenko got bumped up to the first line. I'm excited for this Kovalenko kid. His dad was a player back when I was a kid. That was pretty good scorer in his own right. So they have not really been able to find that piece yet for that wing. Obviously, McKinnon and Rantanen is your top line, but without Lehkonen, without Nichushkin, it's a big black hole right now. So who's going to be that piece? Drouin's out as well, so that's Colorado's coming in just pretty banged up in general, right? Like this isn't the team that you think of. We think of Colorado as this high flying, great offense, and they've been productive to start the season, but they're missing so many pieces, and in general, these lines just don't look good. I mean, you pull up Daily Faceoff right now and look at this, and you see Ross Colton, Casey Milstad, and Callum Ritchie as your second line. Who's feeling good about that? That it doesn't look like a real second line on a contending team, does it? So, with that being said, I mean, there's value on these guys. Like if you like that second line, I mean, they're giving you Callum Ritchie point, I believe today, plus 135 for him. Casey Milstad point at minus 135. So clearly, they think that line's going to produce. I get it. Milstad's going to be on the power play, so maybe that's why you're getting such a discrepancy there. But I don't mind if I'm going to sprinkle, I'd rather take plus money in general. So honestly, with that being said, I'm going to wait. I want to see what the lines look like. If Kovalenko is on that top line, I'm going to it. I have to, right? It's all about where he is. I want to know. I want to know what these lines are before I place any bets. He's at a plus 360 right now in DraftKings for a goal. That's I mean, you're playing with McKinnon and Rantanen. It's like you can almost accidentally be in the right place at the right time and get a goal. So, McKinnon's minus 120, Rantanen's minus 110. So you're not getting value there. I'm always going to pivot to those other guys. That's just how I like to bet. I don't mind taking McKinnon and Rantanen, but I just don't love the value there. Give me the guy that's going to be on the wing with them. I just want to know who it is before I back it. So keep an eye out for line rushes. Usually it's like 10, 15 minutes before game time. Colorado, for whatever reason, is like the worst with it, though. They always do it super late, so just be patient. Sometimes it's like 5 minutes before puck drop. So just keep an eye out for those. That would be probably where I would go there. I don't know that like there's very much value in general because you're still seeing these prices for like the point props on Colorado at McKinnon's over 1.5 at minus 154. That's just insane considering what this is. I get it; they've been productive. Rand at least is plus money. He's plus 110 for 2 points, so I don't mind that. Another angle I'm looking at is Devon Tace, former Islander. You got a point prop at plus 120. Love that. Love that. Like that. Again, I'm saying there's no value in Colorado. There it is right there. Everybody else is over 1.5 or significant minus money. Give me Devontae at, playing against his former team, been productive in the past versus them. If we see goals here, Sorokin's a little rusty. He's going to be involved. Plus 125, plus 120 looks really damn good for him. So I like that a lot, actually. His shot props as well, over 1.5 minus 180. Obviously, that's a parlay piece, but I would also be willing to look there. I got to look at his history versus them in general as far as shots go. But again, I think there's always that little bit extra. I'm always looking for that little bit extra, at least as far as like the angles I'm looking for. I know not everybody like wants to do that. You want to look at the stats or what they've done recently, but I just think game to game, like the more reasons you have to come out and play a good game, like that's what I want to have backing the bets that I place. So I know if I was him, I would want to show him up. So there you go. You're getting some good value there. He has scored in 2 of 4 against them, I believe, as well. And you want to talk about some value? What was that number? I know it's ridiculous. There it is, plus 600. So again, long shot. I'm not going crazy on it, but plus 600 to score a goal for Devontae's, get a blast from the point, get through. Don't mind that either, but definitely the point prop is my main look there. So as far as props go here, like my main leans would be Duclair point and Taves point as far as that goes. And like I said, I like the over. Maybe you do like a first period over or first period both teams to score probably isn't a bad look either. What's that coming in at? I mean, your over first period is minus 160, so you can't really bet that. That would be like more of a live look if I was going to do that. First period, both teams to score is plus 150. So again, I'm always going to be looking for better value. That's where I'm going here if I were to do it. We'll see how that game starts at 10 o'clock, I believe. So see how these early bets go. Obviously, that 1 o'clock slate did not go well for me. So if this 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock slate doesn't go well, maybe I'll go very light on this last game. But yeah, I think there's going to be goals here. I think this should be a fun game to watch. I think this Islanders team is better than the books are giving them credit for, at least to start the season. And I don't think Georgiev has looked good at all. So yeah, I think the over is in play here. Siblikov's another guy I wouldn't mind on the Islanders side to score a goal. I wish they would give us his props, his points props and stuff like that, but they're not giving them out right now. I mean, DK is even restricting his regular goal score prop. You're looking at only his first goal score prop. So let me pull up the other book here. Let's see if we can find what his line's going to be at for the night, because I want to at least give you an idea of what his line's at. But he's been pretty productive. He's playing on the second line for the Islanders. He looks pretty good. He looks the part, playmaking forward for them. Again, they need a goal scoring, and at least in that first game, they got it from him and Duclair. He's plus 400 on the blue book. Let's put it that way, right? Yeah, so I like what I've seen from him. I like what I've seen from the Islanders in general, at least the first game, not the second game, but I think they bounce back here and get some goals. So don't mind him. Don't mind Duclair. And I like Taves a lot. So yeah, give me some goals in that late game. I guess that's gonna wrap it up, guys. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks for joining me here. This podcast was sponsored by Game Time. Make sure to if you need tickets for anything coming forward, if you want to go to a game, go to a concert, movies, whatever you want, go use Game Time. Promo code THPN. You get $20 off your first purchase there. And if you do not have DraftKings, I don't know why you wouldn't at this point. Promo code THPN. Yeah. So let's win some bets tonight, guys. Wish everybody luck. Thanks for joining me. This has been the Expected Bets 4 podcast, and we'll be back on Wednesday. Should be about 5:30, I believe. We'll do another live stream. Hopefully Gator and Betsky will both be there with me. And then Friday, we will continue to have our happy hour streams as well, where we'll have a guest. I will not be there on Friday, so somebody will be filling in for me. We'll see who that is. Stay tuned for that. But again, thanks for joining us, and have a good night, guys. Let's cash some bets.